You're welcome back, and of course, your comments are welcome via our social media handles because we are live on X Spaces, on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course on myjoyonline.com. My name is Elton Brobe. Now, today we are starting off on a matter that has been a 21 for several months now. Now, drivers and residents along the Pokuase-Nsawam stretch of the Accra-Kumasi interchange road have served notice warning if immediate action is not taken to fix the unmotorable roads, they would protest. Now, last week, the expiration of the ultimatum is in the next 2 days. The drivers say they've had enough of the dusty detours, the broken suspension, and the endless wait for a road that has been under construction for years. The GPRTU and the GLTCC wants government to drag the contractor back to site or face thereof. My colleague Michael Ashale and Anthony Manu were on the stretch, and they came through with this report.
With each passing day, commuters and drivers are paying the price for government's inaction. Welcome to the Pokuase-Nsawam stretch, where driving is a nightmare for drivers and commuters, and where every bump feels like a gamble with your vehicle's safety. This stretch has been under construction for years, yet today, the contractor is nowhere in sight. The result? An obstacle course of potholes, forcing drivers to crawl bumper to bumper, twisting and turning just to stay on 4 wheels. On our visit, more than 20 vehicles were seen broken down in the middle of the road. Here lies another broken down car, and another, and another. Vehicles, both big, long, medium, or whatever size it is, at some point in their journey to Kumasi, have to at least run through this muddy water. A very difficult situation for many of them because they don't know what exactly under the surface of that water looks like. You may as well just call it the muddy pool of death, because I've counted not one, not two, but more than 3 vehicles in this section alone that are broken down. They haven't moved an inch in hours. The difficulty is that no help can come to you at this particular point in the middle of a muddy pool. Darko Foster was heading to the eastern region when his car skidded dangerously close to tipping over.
I didn't know where to pass. I lost traction. The next thing I realized, the vehicle was skidding, and there were people in the car, and no one is willing to help.
Okay, now I'm afraid to win from 2.5 p.m.
His passenger, Mary Owusu, had bought goods in Accra to sell back home. Now, they sit drenched and ruined.
12 o'clock. The car has been stuck here since 12. There is mud in my goods and everything I bought to sell is destroyed. I lost my money today.
While we were here, an STC bus got stuck. It was the second one that day in the same area. The driver, John Ate, is now visibly frustrated.
A state bus, a whole state bus. Look at the situation in which it is.
This is a state bus. Now see where we are. Government must fix the road. The road is very bad.
Problem, I don't know.
But how bad is the road?
Road in there very bad. Very bad. Bad. Beyond bad. Beyond bad.
Passengers were forced to get out and wade through mud. For another passenger, time is money. He's now late to his appointment and losing both. Manaf, yes. This vehicle is spoiled. Are you from this vehicle, one of the passengers in there?
No, I'm not, but from the other one, a similar STC that got stuck along.
Another STC broken down, yes, same day, same time?
Yes.
From Burkina Faso to Tema, one long haul brought to a halt here.
The road no good, I swear.
Brima Tofik's cargo now sits in jeopardy after a key support beam broke in the struggle.
If you come out from Amle, Cambodia, the road no good. So all the goods will be the load, you know. I saw but from Obakura, Oko, Odo Amele Kura, plenty cars fall down for that place because of the road. The road no good. The day we go do 5 days to reach the Tema, but sometimes we do 1 month before we reach Tema.
Taxi driver Alex Apia-Danko says business is slow. Whatever he earns goes straight into repairs as well.
Some passengers in
The passengers are not boarding our taxis. Look at the road. We beg, please come and fix it.
Yes, Rabano. On show my Onya Bibia. Odo Nyakura, on mine.
Commercial buses are cashing in. A journey from Pokuase to Amasaman, once 5 cedis, now cost 10. Janet Morte says it is broad day thievery.
If you don't have 10 cedis, you can't move from here to Media.
Some drivers even stop mid-route, forcing passengers to pay again before continuing.
Kwabenya, I am heading to Sapeman, and I had to pay another fare to continue.
Ride-hailing drivers have abandoned the route altogether. Kweku Frimpong is unhappy.
And because of the bad routes, sometimes when people request for Bolt and Uber and all those kind of commercial, they don't want to come to this part of because of the condition of the route. And it really affects. And because of this issue, this public transport, the Trotro people, they've increased the fare of the prices exponentially.
Frustrated, the GPRTU and GRTCC have announced plans to demonstrate over the bad road. Residents and commuters have endorsed it.
Of course, why won't I join? Because it's really now kids are not able to use this road anymore. And then it's seriously, I'm even lost of words. I didn't even know the right words to use because
we are on our knees. They should fix it for us.
We will demonstrate. We must park the cars on the road and block it. They should try and fix it for us.
The Amasaman Road is a critical stretch for trade and commerce, but the current state is crippling the economy and affecting lives. The government must take immediate action to address the situation and complete the road project. Until then, every journey here will remain a gamble. For JoyNews, Michael Ashali and Anthony Menu.
My colleague Michael Ashali and Anthony are back on that particular stretch. I'll take you live to the place because we are learning that some work is being undertaken to make the road more trouble. But if you're a regular user of the road, perhaps you can tell me the experience you go through every day via social media handles on X Spaces, on YouTube, and of course on Facebook. And we'll share it here and also try and get response from the contractor working on this particular stretch. Well, our lead data and research analyst here at JoyNews, Isaac Kofi Ajay, has also been giving us some perspective about the state of this particular road.
% is the completion rate of the Nsawam Road. So we are left with about, let's say, 32% more to complete this road. And the reason why this road is so crucial and critical is that if you look at the description of the road when the contract was actually awarded, this particular road is supposed to be about 33.4 kilometers. In there, you have 10 lanes, MFA. 6 of the 10 lanes are supposed to be for express, and then 4 for, services and other connections. And you have 4 interchanges on that particular road. And the reason why it's become a big headache, and you can see the magnitude of the distress people are going through, is because you need $346.5 million US. That's about roughly 34 billion Ghana cedis to actually complete, this road project. That is the amount of money you need to complete the Nsawam Pokuase-Nsawam Road. Comparing the budgetary allocation to the roads ministry from 2022 to 2025 is that if you do a simple mathematics, what you see is that expenditure or the budgetary allocation to that ministry is expected to drop by some 30% this year. Why is that important? Because if you break it down, you will see that a big component of that budgetary allocation is expected to go into management and administration. And it's about 1.4 billion, and just about, let's say, 1.2 billion is supposed to go into proper capex. And I mentioned just one road, which is costing about 34 billion Ghana cedis. And the whole, country is expected to rely on just close about, let's say, 2.5 billion Ghana cedis for road construction and rehabilitation. It simply tells you that this is woefully inadequate. Why? Because we've just seen one road that is expected to cost some 347 million, US dollars to actually complete this.
Well, the chairman of the Parliament's Committee on Roads, an MP for Wassa East, Isaac Mensah, has also commented on the contractor's return to site. Now, he spoke on the AM, so take a listen.
The road is being done by one of the best contractors, Maripoma. Maripoma is, reputed to be one of the best in the sub-region. And so if he's on such projects, you have no doubt that he'll perform. And so the whole issue was about the honoring of IPCs. And when contractors...
So IPCs are the interim, performance certificates?
Yes,
okay.
So it's about money.
Okay.
And my understanding is that the ministry has had some arrangement and engagement with him to go back to site. We inherited this project. And there were issues relating to some payments. And given the situation, the government at the time wasn't able to honor all of them. And so we inherited it, and we just have to, accept it and move on. Because of the relationship that the ministry has had with the contractor, some minor jobs were being carried on. I remember about 3 months ago, the committee had a visit to the project, and we saw some work going on. But again, the areas that needs to be worked on is where now it's been giving much problems. During this time, during the rainy seasons, you realize that roads get worse, especially in areas that had not been attended to. And so it is also not too smart thing to do when, especially the road is still, on traffic, to work on them.
But the road was left even before the season.
Yes, it was being attended to, but gradually.
Really?
It's been worse. Yes,
What was happening on the road? Because people say the contractor packed out. There was no work.
Yes, exactly.
Happening on the road.
But there were some minor, interventions, on the stretch. But the critical situation is where we see it now. But the goodness of it is that the contractor is back to site, and he's ready to make things done.
When was that? Because
I think for the past 3 days, the minister has come out, and if you check on the Ghana web, there's been some publication of a sort.
That the minister is back on
No,
on
I'm
site?
talking about the minister talked about the fact that some financial arrangement has been made to fix the contractor, and so the contractor is back on site. I was just in Adom TV this morning, and they've confirmed that, yes, the contractor is on site.
All right, so these are foundations. Now, what is the latest as we speak this afternoon? Let me cross over now to the stretch where my colleague Michael Ashele is currently standing by for the very latest. And Michael, so around 10 a.m., we got information that the contractor is back on site to try and make the road more travel. You've been on the scene for some time now. What can you tell us?
In your shot right now, it's one of those places that we covered when we got here at the time, and it was a difficult terrain or place for drivers, especially for the long trailers. There was a huge ditch around that place. But at least for today, the story is different. Drivers are applying that place as though it's a tarred road. The reason is different because the contractors, Maripoma Enterprise Limited, is currently on site on this particular stretch. And where we are, it's just a few heading towards Satellite, where it's the biggest of the challenges. So, contractors, we can confirm, is currently, you can see just around this place alone, we have about 4 heavy-duty machines that are currently on site trying to work. The supervisor there, foreign national, also trying to supervise. days ago when we came here, drivers are driving, well, as smoothly as they can get it, far better, they would say, than what they actually got the last time here. So, contractor at the moment is on side, but some drivers who have been passing and making some comments tell us that this is the least of the places they really wanted a contractor to work on. The biggest problem they were really hoping that you work on is the part about the satellite, where there's a muddy pool sitting just in the middle of the road, making it very difficult for drivers, commuters, to access just anywhere at all. So, Elton, I can confirm to you, just as we have heard, Maripoma Enterprise Limited is back on site. What we know, again, my colleague Anthony Menu will join me pretty shortly, is that we know that as of 2024, December 2024, the contractor said he had done about 70% of the work, but only 20% of the money had been released to him at the moment. Anthony Meno, so, I mean, as of 2024, what were the figures that we're dealing with?
So, as of 2024, we are looking at some 70.34 million US dollars, which actually represent 20.3% of the entire 346.47 million US dollars that this project was actually estimated for.
And that is in the money terms, that is 20% of the money had been released at the end of 2024.
Exactly. Even though 70% of the work has actually been done, the contractor, as we can confirm from the Ghana Highways 2024 annual report, actually says that only 20.99% of the money have actually been
Okay, great. So we know that this year, Roads Minister Govt mentioned that some 400 million cedis have been released to them. That will translate around 30 million. That brings the total about 100 million, right?
Yes, you are right. Earlier this year, we had the Minister for Roads and Highways, Gavin Abuja, saying that over 400 million Ghana cedis has actually been given to the contractor. That translates to 33.3 million US dollars, which, when you use the exchange rate as at then. Now, we will be estimating that the total figure will be at 104 million US dollars, which actually represents about 29% of the money. So currently, if we take into consideration what the minister said, only 29.7% has actually been received, even though 70% of the work has been done.
Sure. Thank you very much. Yeah, so in terms of numbers, that's exactly what we are dealing with. The expectation that the contractor, once it's back, will complete it. This is just coming days after GPRTU and GRTCC, two of Ghana's biggest transport unions or driver unions, who issued government a 1-week ultimatum to at least make parts of the road very motorable. And currently, that's exactly what MEO, Maripoma Enterprise Limited, the contractors responsible for the Pokuase-Nsawam stretch, is currently doing. It's a rubble here. I can feel the vibrations right here on my feet. I will definitely be on the road for the rest of the day, looking up to what exactly the contractor teams as priority areas to fix the road in the interim.
Right. So, Papani, last Friday when you got on the scene, you reported from a spot which had water had collected on a particular spot. Is this the same place you are reporting from this very moment?
That is not the exact place we are reporting from, actually, but this is the first major place that you are seeing some rehabilitation work being done by MEL. We've traveled all the way from Pokuase to this particular point, and this is the only point where we can say that the contractor is actively working. We have seen some of their vehicles move in and out of some of the places, but this is the first place. The place you're asking about is Satellite, just about a kilometer stretch. And from here, we'll definitely be going there in just about 5 minutes. We will be leaving here. But this was one of the critical areas that GPRTU was complaining about, that they needed the contractor to work urgently on it. And through to their threats, Maripoma is currently on site, trying to meet them halfway.
Apani, we'll leave this here and then we'll touch base with you when you got to when you get to that particular spot, as we try to understand the situation and whether this ongoing works to make the road more trouble is extending to that spot at well. But remember that the threat to go on strike, at least as we speak now, still stands. Now let me go on Zoom and bring you Samuel Abuan. He's a member of the National Communication Team of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, and he is joining mean? Also on the line is Emmanuel Oheneyabua, General Secretary of the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council. And I'm privileged to have you guys on. So, Mr. Ohene, good afternoon. So you heard from our correspondent, Michael Ashal, who is on site. I mean, giving credence to the fact that some work has started or has resumed on the stretch that you complain about. Does that soften your stance to go on strike in 2 days?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to your viewers and listeners. My brother can hear me. I just drove on that stretch just about 6 minutes, and I saw one excavator, digger roller, one of the stretch, But I say that quite appreciate the good efforts to tackle the problem. I think now that we see now is not enough to remedy the situation as it stands now. Because if you remember, if the reporter was held, it will be still since morning. And once so, the different compounds. So we hope to add to deal with the wider area that has problems. The problem is really that issue that they need to add more equipment to be able to resolve. That one excavator and grader, and that would not solve the problem, honestly.
All right, but at least something is being done to address the concerns that you have.
Well, that is true. That is an effort has been made, but continuing at this pace, I don't think we're going to see a resolution around it within the 1 week time frame.
Let me also bring in the GPRTU, the GPRTU person on this, Mr. Samuel Asamoah. Mr. Samuel, so some work is being done. Again, the same question. Will that get you to back off on this stretch to go on strike in 2 days?
A quick correct. The name is Samuel Asamoah.
Okay.
You just Samuel. Yeah. So. All right, so let me equally say good afternoon to you and then your listeners and viewers. Yes, as we earlier said, what we had wanted to do is to embark on a sit-down strike. And the main reason why we are embarking on the sit-down strike is the Pokuase-Nsawam Road. That is, giving us a whole lot of headache. And we are seeing that government is not doing anything about it. Yes, we decided that hopefully by 21st, that is coming Thursday, all vehicles nationwide are going to pass. We are not going to work, so we see the contractors working. Yes, we've had an information that they've gone back to the site and work has been commenced. Actually, what we want to say is that they will continue on doing it. We don't want the situation whereby they will say, because of the little pressure we gave them, that is why maybe they just gone to the site to commence work. Then some few days they just leave the site again. So we just want to monitor from today, tomorrow. We also want to monitor, how the work will also go, where they have started and where they have gone to. Then by the close of tomorrow, we'll decide whether we have to call off the strike action or we continue with that.
So for now, you are simply watching them.
Yeah, for now we are watching them because sometimes they will just do something like we are working, but before we realize, before earlier that was what happened. They were there working. We didn't know the reason why. For some time, all the contractors left the place. All their machines were also parked. We don't know the reason why it happened like that. So it will happen the same time again. So that is why we are saying we are watching them. We are watching them closely to see if work will be going on. Then all that we need is for the road to be motorable. That is all. Right.
Mr. Ohene, so again, I've just been perusing reports around this particular road project, and today wouldn't be the first time government officials or the government is asking the contractor to go back on site and make the road motorable. As far back as 2022, the then Minister for Roads then did the same thing. Mr. Foriata, did the same thing when he went on the stretch and directed the contractor to get back and make the road motorable. I'm talking about Mr. Mwakwanta. So clearly, obviously, same script, but different cast. What assurance do you have that this time it will be sustained such that we'll get our hands off this once and for all? Hello, Mr. Ohene. Right.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Ohene, you can hear me.
Okay, is it for me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, like I said earlier on, our interest today and now is that we need the road to be fixed. As to direction that they give and being sustainable or not, depends on the government's negotiation with the contractors. We are just road users and we don't have much influence. We don't have the word without to say that, we should continue working or not. But at least the government should be able to negotiate in a very stronger terms that we get this thing off our necks. Because this is a major road that links the southern to the northern parts of Ghana and the Sahelian region. So you can't continue like this. That's my worry. Granted, even a sick person on this road, traveling on ambulance or something, and it gets to this stage. Brother, the results will be fatal. Sometimes when we speak like this, we don't look at our commercial interest only. We look at the general economic movement of the country. If you look at some of the videos you are showing, look at the distraction alone. If once the truck goes down, before you can bring it back operational life, it means you have to spend so much money in it again. And we have to avoid that. So I'm saying again that the government should negotiate in a very strong terms. Yes, that's why the state is the biggest spender. Once you contract somebody to work for you, I mean, the state has a guarantee. So definitely the money will be paid. To have a negotiation, a way to negotiate to keep the job going.
Okay.
Because the way it stands now, if you come and explain to me that we have paid so much percent, we have paid so much, that's why the road is not going. The citizen doesn't know whatever negotiating that the government has done. All that we need is that we have a road that we can move on. At least if it's not 100%, fixed. Let's get it to a level that we can move on smoothly without further challenges.
All right.
That's what it's telling on our expenditure.
All right. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Let me wrap up this conversation with you, Mr. Samuel Amwa. So, Mr. Amwa, some of the commuters also complaining that drivers have taken advantage of the state of the road. They are demanding more. Sometimes they get them to the middle of the destination and they say that unless you pay more, we will not continue with the journey. You are virtually punishing commuters for what is expected to be fixed by government.
Yes, you see, that is some of the information we had, the complaints we had from some of the commuters. That is why we decided to take this stand. Even those that are not even doing it, I'm talking about some of our union members, even threatening that it is the transport fare. That prompted us to take this stand. You see, they are doing this because of what is happening, on the road, and we are not happy, for this road, to be bad to this extent, and it's the passengers that are going to suffer the consequences. You see, we are very sorry for all these things that are happening. All that we are saying is that the government should make the road motorable, so that we can also be able to monitor our drivers for them to do the right thing. Because GCRQ, we are law-abiding citizens. We don't just do our things like that. We increase fares when it is necessary for us to increase fares. We don't just wake up and charge them anyhow. And we also don't want the drivers to also be taking advantage of what is happening there and taking money from passengers. They would like what we are doing now. So we believe that since the contractor is there and they have started working, the road will be motorable. We also make sure that drivers that fly that road will charge the appropriate fare so that everybody will also enjoy whatever.
And you say that you meet tomorrow to review the position you've taken.
That is correct. That is correct, because we gave 1 week ultimatum. That will elapse, hopefully on Wednesday. Like we were supposed to, when it happens like nothing happened, then it means on Thursday we are marching on a sit-down strike. So we are monitoring. By the close of tomorrow, from Wednesday morning, you see how things are going, then the discipline will take.
All right, Samuel Amwa is a member of the communication team of the GPRT. Thank you so much. Also, we heard Emmanuel Ohene with the Transport Coordinating Council. And of course, we're keeping an eye on this particular matter. We try to get government response. They are unavailable to speak to this matter as of now. But if you're a user of the road, tell me your experience via social media handle, X Spaces on YouTube, and of course on Facebook. Now, former Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwo has sounded the alarm that Ghana is dangerously underprepared for any terrorism. He warned that unlike neighbors such as Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Togo, Benin, and Ivory Coast that are pouring resources into their militaries, Ghana has grown nonchalant simply because it has not yet been attacked. Now, Nitiwo admitted the army saw some investment under his watch, but stressed that the Air Force and Navy remain under-equipped due to politicized procurement. And he cautioned that unless Ghana urgently retool its Air Force and Navy, the nation will be left dangerously exposed. You spoke on the probe.
We heavily invested in the army. We bought a lot of APCs, a lot of armor personnel carriers. We bought a lot of weapons. We bought a lot of things that they need, multiple rocket launchers. We bought a lot of things that the army needs. But that is not to say that that is all they need. Remember that you are in a region that is faced with terrorism, that is faced with difficult economic challenges, and also faced with serious security challenges. So you need very serious military equipment. Unfortunately, because we have not had a terrorist attack, we don't place too much premium on preparing our military, unlike our neighbors who are being bombarded by difficulties. Nigeria, Benin, Ivory Coast, Togo, Burkina Faso, all of them, Niger, Mali, the entire West Africa, especially the big countries, everybody is suffering from terrorism. And so you go to Burkina, relatively close to 40% of their budget is being used to make sure that they prepare their military. Togo is doing the same, Ivory Coast is doing the same, Benin is doing the same, Nigeria is doing the same. But of course, in Ghana, it is not like that. So you will get the drift in which I'm thinking. I will not conclude, but the people of Ghana should know that we are under-preparing as compared to our neighbors.
All right.
Two, when it comes to the equipment stage, as I said, we did a lot for especially the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, and part of the Air Force. But it's not enough because we couldn't have, with the difficult economic circumstances, we couldn't have bought everything that they are looking for. I started listing all the things that we bought, from weapons to ammunition to APC personnel to soft-in vehicles to building houses to doing roads to doing accommodation, all this sort of stuff that we did massively. In fact, the investment that we did, I can say relatively without boasting that no government in the Fourth Republic has done that. But I can say that it is a scratch on the surface. The difficulty and my biggest regret, which I think we should focus, is on the Air Force and the Navy. And the Air Force is very evident for all of us to see that our Air Force is underprepared. From 2019, when we thought that the nation should come together, and the nation actually did, using Parliament. Unfortunately, the politicization of our equipment purchases has not helped us.
Well, Dominic Nitiwo has also been talking about whether we have outdated helicopters in the system. And he says these are pure propaganda issues being pursued by some other people. Listen.
You see the place called Dollar Power. It's full of riches. But you have to cross the Black Volta to be able to get to Dollar Power. It's become a big security den. And I can tell you that what I did was virtually to get to the Minister for Lands to ensure that that whole enclave is handed over to the Defense Industry Holding Company to partner with whoever they want to partner. And I've done the partnering. They know, the government knows, that if they decide to tap the resources in that area, the armed forces will get no less than $300 million every year to be able to buy whatever they want to buy. It's for the government to exploit that. And I did it. I set it up. I got the armed forces. I got everything they needed to do. They just needed to follow what I did. And I'm saying to the president that he should pay attention to what I did there and the steps I took to ensure that those resources are handed over to the defense industry holding company. And when they tap those resources, the armed forces will have a lot of money to be able to retool the armed forces.
Right, this is a pause here on Joy News. Let's take a short break and return with other stories.